Now, the host and honorary chairman of the 8th Annual Celebrity Roast, ladies and gentlemen, Lenny Wilkens.
I think that all of you know being a head coach is a tough spot to be in. Almost as tough as being Wayne Cody's bathroom scale. And tonight, we honor one of the toughest head coaches around, the Seahawks' own Chuck Knox. Tonight, Coach, 9 of your friends, or supposedly friends, will do to you what your defense did to the Raiders. And of course, as always, we're doing this for a good cause, the Washington State Special Olympics and the Odessa Brown Children's Clinic. Now it's time for me to introduce the man who will be sharing the MC responsibilities with me. Actually, Steve is used to working with a partner. At Cairo, he shares the spotlight with Pete Gross, Wayne Cody, Susan Hutchison. Even with the Seahawks, there was that one special partner that Steve was always with. His closest friend throughout those 6 years. The one you could always find him with, the bench. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who has found yet another way to get paid for watching other athletes perform. My partner here tonight, Steve Raible.
Boy, Lenny, thank you. I think. You know, it's a pleasure. It really is to be a part of this year's festivities. We honor a man tonight whom I have admired for a long, long time. You know, Chuck and I were talking about old football experiences before the show tonight, and, you know, I told him, I said, Chuck, you know, I always deep in my heart wanted to play football in the worst way. And he said, you know, I saw your old game films. You did. Mayor Royer's here tonight, and as always, a pleasure to see him. He's an avid sports fan in this city. Do you know that in 1977, Charlie Royer was there to throw out, in the Dome, to throw out the first baseball to open the Mariners season? Unfortunately, the Mariners were playing in Kansas City that night. Mike McCormick and Reggie McKenzie are here. They're representing the Seahawks, and you'll see them come out in just a couple of minutes. You'll recognize them as offensive linemen because they'll be the only ones holding onto the podium here tonight. Thank you. I'm warm. I'm getting them warm now, aren't I? Dick Vermeil, however, is really hot. He is incensed. He flew 3,000 miles to honor the top NFL coach, and Shula didn't even show up. So Ben Davidson, on the other hand, he's always mean and nasty. He's got that reputation. He's the kind of guy who would walk up to Sybil and say, "Who the hell do you think you are?" On the other hand, we have Mike Noon, who's sitting down here at the end of the dais. Maybe not a household word, not yet, but maybe in another 30, 40 years, who knows? Kind of a quiet guy, however. Quiet, subdued, to himself, makes Perry Como look like a break dancer. Give you an idea about him. Wayne Cody, sitting down here at the end. My boss, Wayne Cody. Big scandal. Just hit the papers. You may not have seen it. It was in the evening edition of the Times. As following in the footsteps of Madonna, some nude photos. Some nude photos of Wayne have just surfaced, and they'll appear in next month's issue of Ripley's Believe It or Not. And finally, of course, there's Pete Barbuti, everybody's favorite up here in Seattle. I mean, you can just take a look at him and you can tell he's probably not the brightest person that ever came down. I mean this in all sincerity. Out in the lobby, walking into the hotel, there was a sign in the lobby of the hotel this evening. It said, "Wet floor," so he did. So I We welcome all of these gentlemen up here tonight, and Chuck, it's going to be a fun ride. So again, sit back and enjoy yourself. Our first roaster this evening. Well, I guess I was the first roaster. Our second roaster this evening, no stranger to the Lenny Wilkens roast. He returns this year to honor the man that he hired, the man that he brought in to turn this club around, and the man that he fondly refers to as Your Highness. Mike McCormick has been very, very busy this offseason. You know, up to now, and I'm sure Bruce Schultz is here, Norm Johnson is here somewhere, Pete Metzelaars, various players of the Seahawks, they can all attest that up to now, Mike McCormick has been known as a guy who throws around money like somebody with no arms. Well, this off-season, things changed. Largent, easily, and even the good Mr. Knox himself got fat new contracts. As a result, the prices of shoes at Nordstrom's doubled, and the team plane is now a rented Volkswagen bus. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man who gave the phrase, "pay the price," a whole new meaning. Seahawks president Mike McCormick.
Thank you very much, Steve. I really thought we were here to roast Chuck. And, you know, you have made more money out of less playing time than any athlete in the history of any game.
Bruce, you're up here very quickly because he has to leave very shortly. He's got to go back and do the 11 o'clock sports for Cairo Television. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who he's done a lot for Seattle sports. His career, of course, skyrocketed on the shoulders of Bill Russell. And the man who tonight ate his meal out of a satellite dish. Please welcome Wayne Cody. Dick, thank you. All right, our next roaster for the evening, Mike Noon, a nationally known comedian from the Seattle area who has played in nightclubs from Las Vegas all the way to the Big Apple. Mike is not what you'd call an avid sports fan. He's not up with the latest things. He thought Bernie Bickerstaff was a premium beer from Oregon. He just... Please welcome, if you will, the man who has done for comedy what Wayne Cody did for pole vaulting, Mike Noon.
Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest, everybody's Coach of the Year, and Seattle's Man of the Hour, Chuck Knox.
I would just say this to Lenny Wilkens, though. I wish he had come to me when he was having trouble with that inbounds play. Because, Lenny, you might still be coaching. And to Steve Raible, when you look in a dictionary, besides the word nothing, his picture's there. This is a guy that played 6 years with the Seahawks. I think he caught 63 passes in 6 years. His final year, he caught 1 pass. At any time, I know there were many, many fans that wanted to come down on the field and make citizens arrest. Because it's illegal in the state of Washington to impersonate a professional football player.